Hey all, my name is Paul Borosky, and I am the owner of Quality Business Plan. And what I'd like to do today is introduce y'all to some tips and tricks that I've come across when writing pest control business plans that might be able to assist when you go ahead and write your own pest control business plan. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and mosey on into my little PowerPoint presentation that I've got set up for y'all. And before I get into that, though, let's go ahead and go over experience, a little bit of infomercial about me, and then we'll be talking about how I can best assist y'all in doing your pest control business plan. So first and foremost about me, I am a professional business writer, a business plan writer. If y'all want to avoid going through the fun and aggravation of writing your own business plan, then pick up the phone, give me a call, and send me a text, send me an email, and I'd be delighted to go ahead and write your business plan for you. However, if you do want to go down the journey of writing your own business plan, make sure you have a guide. And what I'm talking about for a guide is use one of my books as a template or as a structure to give you some insights into the different sections of a business plan. And the way to get to my different books that I've got published is just mosey on over to Amazon.com. Type in the search bar Paul Borosky, throw in an MBA behind it, and what you'll the results will be several different books that I've published on business plan writing, financial analysis, and also creating and understanding financial statements. So hopefully that'll be a good resource for you if you choose to write your own business plan. And finally, why am I doing this video? What background, what do I know that may be beneficial to y'all? And so a little bit of experience about me is I am an adjunct professor and subject matter expert in business and finance. So with that said, if y'all need some financial projections or financial model for your pest control business plan, again, don't hesitate to pick up the phone, give me a call, send me a text, send me an email, be delighted to assist. All right, so enough about me. Let's talk about you. Let's talk about your pest control business plans. Let's talk about some tips and tricks that you can go ahead and use when writing your own plan. All right, so first and foremost, company description. Work with a lot of pest control owners, and they do a really good job explaining their services, and they also do a good job with, kind of defining, where they're going to be servicing and how many people they're going to have and the products they're going to use. Unfortunately, though, what I have found with some pest control owners is they don't really go really deep into their competitive advantages. What do you do different than your other competitors? Do y'all have the same products that you're going to be using, or do you have different products? Are your products safer? Are they environmentally friendly? Are they more effective than the other ones? Sometimes you might go ahead with a higher price, product for your pest control business because it's more effective, and you might be able to, get by on lower margins because you're going to be able to cut down on your repeat visits. Define what your competitive advantage is going to be. Is it safe products? Is it effective products? Is it the number of visits? Are you going to be out there every week, or are you going to be out there every month, or are you only going to be out there every time they call? So make sure you define, what you're going to do better than your competition and why that's important. Very, very critical for when you're writing your pest control business plan. All right, number two. A lot of pest control businesses, when they start up, they like to immediately go right for the jugular and just go right for the competition. They're going to examine, who the top players in the market are and what they're doing and how they're doing it and the products that they're using and their demographic, where are they servicing. However, my challenge is that might not be the best place to start when you do your industry research. When I do my industry research for the pest control business, what I like to do is I like to start at the national level. What are some national trends? What are some major problems that the individuals are having? Is there an infestation of silverfish? Are people having some problems with the bed bugs? And what areas are having these problems? And then also how are other competitors on a national level treating these problems? What are they doing? How are they doing it? And why are those treatments effective? Once you understand at a national level what's going on in your industry, then you can take a look at your competitors on a local level and see if they've embraced or understand the trends going on at a national level. When you do that, your competition is truly, if there's 50 people that are offering services similar to yours, your true competition might be only 2 or 3 people that really are in touch with the national trends and understand, and they're offering the top of the line products and services. Those are the people you need to identify, and those are the people you need to compete with and identify and understand their business models, and go ahead and create your own business models that are going to, not only exploit their weaknesses, but improve upon your strength. So for tip number 2, make sure you start at the national level, understand what's going on in your industry, and then use that as a lens to evaluate your competitors, so you can truly understand who your true competitors are as compared to just people out there, just spreading dust and spreading chemicals into people's houses. The big difference. I think you all agree with me. All right, next, tip number 3. A lot of pest control companies do a great job with their website. They do a phenomenal job. They've got all kinds of information about bugs and their treatments and why they're effective, and this goes on and on and on. Love the details and love the passion involved with most of the pest control business owners, and it exemplifies in their websites. They also do a great job with word of mouth advertising. They do a wonderful job. What they do is, when they visit their clients on a monthly basis, they're all peaches and cream and rainbows and sunshine. I mean, just fantastic service, and that inevitably leads to referrals. However, the weakness that I've noticed, as a trend in the pest control industry, is the usage of social media. Social media usage needs to be persistent and consistent. You've got to do it 2 or 3 times a week or more on a daily basis, and be persistent about it. Keep doing it every single day, or if you're going to do it Monday, Wednesday, Friday, stick to it. The social media is what's going to get people buzzing. It's going to keep you on the top of their mind. If if somebody goes away for the winter, they keep getting social media pieces of information on Instagram or on the Facebook. It's going to remind them to start it back up again when they come home in the fall. So make sure you're on top of that social media. Absolutely critical. One of the weak links that I've noticed in the pest control companies. And then funding request. If you're going to be starting your own pest control company, or if you're going to be expanding your pest control company, one of the things that really gets my goat is when I talk to my clients and they tell me, well, they need $150,000 to $160,000 to expand or to start up their business. And my thought process is that's a heck of a span. Is it 150,000 or 160,000, or is it 165,000, or is it 163,000? Are you going to let me pick a number, or are you going to tell me what your number is? I mean, what's the deal here? Don't give a range when you're doing your funding request. So in your business plan, when you're writing up your funding request, make sure within the first 2 sentences on that funding request, you explicitly state the dollar amount that you need to go ahead and start operations or to expand operations. After that paragraph, and you explain where you would get your funding from, whether it's debt or equity funding or what have you. After that, then you should have a breakdown in the funding request in categories, identifying where the money is going to be spent. Are you going to be using some of that money for operating expenses? Are you going to be using some of that money for inventory, for your chemicals, for your are you going to be using some of that money for training? Are you going to be using some of that money for inventory? Are you going to be using some of that money for uniforms? Explicitly state what you're going to be, breaking into categories of what you're going to be spending the money on, and each category should have a dollar amount. Once you're done with identifying the categories that you need in your startup or in your expansion for your pest control business, then what you're going to do is you're going to sum the dollar amounts for each category into a specific total amount needed for funding. That total amount needed for funding at the bottom of your itemized list should be identical to the funding request number that you put up top. Make sure there's alignment, and make sure you have categories, but make sure your categories are a little bit broad. You don't want to put, you're going to need, 4 trucks that are 2007 Toyota Tacomas. You don't have to go into that much detail, but give the categories enough detail where they understand what it's going to be spent on, but not so much detail that you're putting yourself into a box. I mean, it's going to be kind of hard to buy 17 trucks of 2007 with 57,000 miles, kind of a deal. All right. Tip number five, financial projections, a little bit of money. So when you're doing your pest control business, you do want to have financial projections. I mean, how do you know if you're doing good, better, and different? How do you know what your profits are going to be? How can you budget without financial projections? So this right here, I've made up a little, just a really rudimentary, basic pest control revenue, profit and loss structure. And so with this little structure here, the first thing I start off with is, monthly services. You're going to have monthly services, and then you're going to have one-time treatments. Once I identify what the my revenue drivers are going to be, I'm going to identify the prices. For the monthly service, it might be an average price of $49.99. Variable cost, for the gas to get out there, and for the the treatment material, it's going to be $10. Once I identify my variable cost, I'm then going to subtract my variable cost from my actual sales price, which is going to be $39.99. Next, I'm going to identify how many treatments I'm going to be able to do in a day. If I got 5 people, we're going to be able to do 3 treatments a day, kind of a deal. So we're going to have 15 treatments. Once we identify the treatments, we're going to multiply the treatments, 15 treatments, by the gross profit of $39.99. And that gives us a total gross profit of $59.85. I then do the same process for the one-time treatments. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to total up all my total gross profits into one total gross profit, which is in this case $879.81 a day. I'm then going to multiply how many days I'm going to be working a week. In this case, 30. So that's going to give me monthly profits of approximately $26,394.30. Next, I'm going to go ahead to step 2, which is identify my monthly fixed cost. I might have a loan, inventory, labor, space rental, utilities, marketing, legal, accounting, miscellaneous. I'm going to total all this information up right here under my total monthly fixed cost. In this case, it's going to be $15,400. Step number 3 is to calculate my profits. So right down here, I'm going to label it monthly profits. Then I'm going to drop down my monthly gross profits, $26,394.30. I'm going to drop it down right here. Then I'm going to pull down my monthly cost, $15,400 right here. And then I'm going to subtract my monthly cost from my monthly gross revenues. So in this particular case, we got net profits of $10,994.30. Now, the beautiful thing about this Picasso right here is that once you have the structure set up, all you have to do is change your price. So if you want to see what's going to happen if your sales price goes up, you change your price from $49.99 to $59.99 and $59.99. Once you change that, your net profits are going to automatically change as long as you have everything tied in together, like I just discussed. You can also change the number of items. You can change the number of services you're going to do in a day. You might go from 15 to 20 services in a day. Once you do that, you can then again identify what's going to happen to your net profits. You can also change around your monthly fixed cost to identify the optimal cost, for your organization. And again, it's going to show in your net profits. So this little structure right here is a fantastic little tool that's going to be able to get you, a good understanding of what your monthly budget is going to be. All right. So in summary here, what we've done is, make sure to follow a proven format for your business plan. When you're writing your pest control business plan, don't use a general business plan template. Those general business plan templates are fantastic. Well, actually, they're going to include aspects of manufacturing. They're going to include aspects of a retail business. They're going to include aspects of a restaurant business. Guess what? You're not a retail business, you're not a manufacturing business, and you're not a restaurant. So you're going to have to be able to figure out in that template what aspects of that business plan are related to your organization and which ones are related to a different organization. And then you're going to have to eliminate those. But there's so many different aspects to a template because there's so many different industries that it's going to wear you out mentally, physically, emotionally. So stay away from those templates, avoid the aggravation. Also, next, make sure you keep the star of the show as the business. A lot of pest control business owners, they like to say how great they are in their business plan and that they've got 50 years experience and they can tell the difference between every bug that's ever crawled to earth in the last 20,000 years. However, those are great traits and great qualities and an amazing feats of intellect that a lot of these pest control business owners can do. Only problem is the start of the show needs to be your business. Talk about your business. Talk about your customers. Talk about how your services are going to be good for the environment. Talk about how your treatments are more effective. Talk about your target market and where you're going to be servicing. Talk about your profit and loss. Talk about your target market. Talk about how you're going to be advertising. All those things are so important. And yes, you do have a segment in your business plan, but make sure it's confined to the operations and management section. Don't make it all about you. And finally, if you need help in any aspect of the business plan for your pest control company, whether it be writing a whole business plan, whether it be just to do your marketing section, or whether it be just to do your financial management or financial projection section, not a problem. Let me know. Love to help. Send me an email, send me a text, send me a call. Be delighted to assist. All right, so if you do want to go ahead and go down the path of writing your own business plan and you want some more information, I do have more information provided. All you got to do is go to qualitybusinessplan.com/pest control business plan. Once you're there, you're going to see how to write a pest control business plan. Excuse me. And so on that website, I do offer more in-depth tips and tricks on how to write each section of the business plan. So please mosey on over there, take a look at it, and use some of those tips and tricks that I'm offering. And also, if you do want a more in-depth, more comprehensive approach to writing your business plan, just go to my website at www.amazon.com/author/Paul Borosky. And once you get there, I do have numerous books on there that you can go ahead and purchase for writing a business plan, understanding financial statements, and how to do your own financial statements as well. So hopefully this little video was helpful. If it was, give me a 2 thumbs up on YouTube, and have a fantastic day. Thank you very much.